Welcome to the Morning Coffee Show. I am the Cajun Conservative. This is the Unpopular Opinion Show. And I'm about to give some unpopular opinions, damn it. Wow, I'm a little feisty for to say that. I'm really not up yet, but don't tell nobody. It's up here. Once it gets about right here, I'll be pretty up. So that's all it takes. Guys, before I reflect on the topics in the news today, or what's going on in the media or current events, there's some things I tell all my audiences is that we always start within. We look within. You can find your shining star within. You can find your warm heart within. And we have to get that right. You get your heart right, will always help get your mind right. And I have 4 pillars up there. Get your mind right. Get Rally Girl right. That's my daughter. Enjoy your needed hobbies and get your grind right. And I will say it again. I always get my mind right first so that I can give 100% of me to my daughter and to my hustle and to my grind. So that's what it is. We look within first. And then we do some affirmation with our tongue. We put it out there. So right now, today, after I talk to you guys, put this video to the side. I will snip it up so you'll get some shorts out of this if y'all want to go check them out. But what I'm going to do today, I got to go get my daughter a puppy. And she's turning 6. And, oh my God, the bullshit you go through trying to get a puppy. Oh, sir. Do you own a dog? Oh, yeah, 20 years ago. Do you have a veterinarian? Oh, yeah, right in my back pocket, sir. Do you rent or buy? I rent my condo. Oh, well, we need a full-page, 9-page letter from your landlord saying you could have a dog. Like, dude, I pay $150 less than my neighbor over here. You think I'm going to go bother him about having a dog and getting him to write a 4-page letter for me? Nah, negative. Let's take a pause. This is why you should do something in the morning to just pause and think about shit. Don't just wake up and run out there with the pressure on you. We have to relieve that pressure valve. Pressure make diamonds, but in the human mind, we got to relieve that valve because that pressure is going to remain there. But we got to relieve that valve so we can work with it. That tastes so good. Almost as good as sex. Right about now, I put it up there, considering I can't probably get it up right now. So, yeah, it's good as sex right now. The right one to make me get it up, but hey. Let's get back on topic. So that's what that is. Now let's get back on the news stuff. We'll wrap up the whole Charlie Kirk thing in a second. Look, he's lost but never forgotten. He was a damn titan. He was a legend conservative, and he was a titan in the field. And it's really sad when you hear some of the people. It is clout chasing. They're out there. Why should I feel any kind of way about Charlie Kirk? And just bashing him, and then people saying he was divisive. Like, what? He really was like a moderate conservative. He wasn't even a radical. And I don't think these people actually watch any of his videos. I think they're the type of people who they hear what's mainstream. And they'll let the media take a couple clips of how they want to paint the reputation of somebody. So they'll use clips out of context to say, okay, this is who he is. Because like right now, Trump, bad. Orange man, bad, right? They all hate Trump. He's white, rich, and racist, right? Now, Trump is not going to be running for president in the next, 3-4 years. That's going to be Ron DeSantis, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance. none of these guys are as vulgar and just raw with their words as Trump, right? All of them are respectable gentlemen. You could disagree with their politics, but they're respectable. Guarantee. The minute the media finds out which one is in the forefront, oh, these people allege he raped them. He's also did a racist act. You know, they're going to paint him up so bad. And the lameness person doesn't know that these are all left-wing propaganda that's they're getting hit with. They don't know. And so these people could not have known about Charlie Kirk, because if you did, I watch most of my stuff on YouTube because I'm a content creator. People who know watch Charlie Kirk videos. He would have you on his show, or he would go to college campuses and do a show. And while he would have thousands of, MAGA supporters, he would also have a good bit, 1,000 or so of Democrats and liberals and people who oppose his view. And they would come up to the mic, and first thing they would say, "First, Charlie, I just want you to say, I love you and I like your show." And they were a full-blown Democrat. But then they would give him a tough question. And he would prove them wrong, but he would give them debate. But I noticed with a lot of these lefties, they would have a surface thing that they echo chamber what the media would say about Charlie. And then when he would tell them, no, this is actually the facts, this is why that is incorrect, they would be like, okay. And then they would just go on to the next topic or subject instead of having more information to debate. Like if you try to tell me, well, building a house is about the roof. I say, okay, yeah, you don't want to leak your house, but what about the foundation? What about the plumbing? Oh, it's about the roof. And because you were a roofer, or you have knowledge about roofs, but that's the only thing you talk about. Like, you don't know the whole process of building a house, but you want to get in a debate with me about building a house, and you only know one aspect of the house. Charlie would go in all layers of the debate, and almost everybody he debated with was like one layer. And the way they would go to a second layer was they would pivot to something else they heard about him. And in their world, as long as you could pile up enough stuff, accurate or not, then, oh yeah, that where there's smoke, there's fire. It must be true. That's how they run in their world. And while it's a fictitious world, because we know these are not people with integrity. They go about their daily lives. They just come and project and virtual signal, and that's what they do, because that's what their leaders do. However, it is very real when they start getting on rooftops and assassinating people. It's very real. Think about it. It could have been Trump been assassinated and this guy been assassinated, the two top leaders of the conservative movement. Think about that. I mean, whether it's the people in their politics or the people on the street level doing street level crime who, I know a lot of gangsters, they're not really old Democrat, but they definitely hate the white man. They definitely hate the system, and they definitely will tell you Republicans are racist. Like, these people, you can't have disagreements with, because they want to shoot you. They want to kill you. And, it is mental health, but we got to just stop saying mental health, because a lot of these people are just not aware that they are in the category of having mental health. So how do you reach somebody who has mental health without letting them aware that they have the mental health issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, how do you address someone who's crazy without telling them that they're crazy? That's really what it's about. That's what we're struggling with as a society, regardless of Republican, Democrat. But we have to come back to Republican and Democrat, because these are the leaders of our fabric of society. We are a country with leaders, and those happen to be our leaders. And so that's why everything gets brought up there to the top, to the leadership. It gets brought up for them to figure it out. So I'm a pivot off of politics. Next thing I want to talk about is, oh boy, Democrats, they woke up not happy today. CNN finally had a report that the economy Inflation went down 0.1% last month. That means food prices and everything going down. They really want to keep running with the narrative that tariffs have caused companies to pass the price on to the consumer. Even though you and I, we don't see it. We don't see high gas prices, or we pretty much see things about where they were when Trump took office, with some things coming down a little bit. That's kind of where it's at. I seen a CNN reporter just the other day tell, I think his name is Bassett, the head of the economists in the Trump administration. Well, the Goldman Sachs said that 80% of costs of tariffs will be passed on to the consumer. What do you think? What do you got to say about his findings? Well, he goes, well, those are his findings, but I made a good living trading against Goldman Sachs. That's what he said. He said, I made a good living trading against them, meaning they don't know shit. So they're hell-bent on past being cost to the consumer over these taxes or tariffs. But wait a second. Who's the party that says they're going to pay for all these social programs, and it'll be so easy to fix our society by handing out social programs, as if they already don't have enough social programs that are failures? Who's a society that said we must tax the rich and business owners? I think the society of the Democrats, the party of the Democrats, says we must tax the business owners and the rich. And what does that do? That passes the cost on to the consumer. If you don't believe it, they already have the highest taxes in New York and in California. And already you can't get nothing at a McDonald's in those states for less than $15. You know, I'm over here in South Florida. I can still get a $5 meal at McDonald's, you know. But what are they talking about? They're in love with passing the cost on to the consumer. That's their whole bread and butter. But now Trump says, look, instead of raising taxes on the American business, we'll raise taxes on the foreign business. Because back in the day, there was no such thing as an American tax. The United States collected all its tax revenue from foreigners who did business with us. Go look it up. So people don't know this, but our debt is now starting to go in reverse. We're starting to pay it down. We're starting to collect. We're on pace to have almost $1 trillion in 6 months. Actually, I think more than $1 trillion from tariff revenue collected. People need to hang in there. I personally would like to see Trump and the administration go into Chicago, regardless if he has the legality or not, wipe out those thugs and criminals, and then watch the Democrats complain because there have been 0 murders in Chicago for 2 weeks straight, a city that averages about 5 murders a day, and 10, 20 on the weekend. I would love him to go do that and them to say, oh, I can't believe you stopped the murder. It was unconstitutional, you coming in here doing that. I would love him, and then just deal with the Supreme Court. What are they going to say? Oh, well, no, you can't go in there. Okay, we'll leave. Now that we solved the problem, we'll leave. And then the crime rate goes back up because Democrats, one, they don't really prosecute crime. So, of course, they can make statistics look low when everybody knows it's not safe in their cities. So if you don't prosecute crime, and when you do have a criminal who has a felony, but you put it as like a misdemeanor on paper, yeah, you could say murder and certain crimes have gone down. But the funny thing is, the crime rate for murders and robberies has spiked down 6 months before the election last year. That's not a coincidence, folks. I used to really think things like rigging elections and voting, illegals getting voting ID, I used to think that wasn't a thing. It was just Republicans just talking out their ass. Back when I was a Democrat, yeah. Then when I learned, not only is it a thing, but I learned how it's able to be a thing. I'm not going to break it down here. You can go find out for yourself. then it was like, holy fuck. Like, elections can be rigged, and numbers, statistic data can be rigged in cities. And it's wild. It's really wild. See, Republicans, we don't care if you're our mayor in our city, and we got high crime, and you come out saying, come vote for me because the data says the crime's low, you're not getting our vote. Like, we are see and react. We react to what we see. Here where I'm at, I could say at least 30 to 40% of the tax money actually goes to good schools, good roads, good bridges. And they try to lower taxes to help the small business person trying to get into business. He can get in business really quick with lower taxes and hopefully work his way up. You learn a trade and then you turn it into an LLC, work your way up like I did. But go to a Democrat-ran city. You're going to see 0% of where your tax money is going. Actually, you're going to hear the rumors on the street, the mob and the governor and the mayor all got their hands in the money. Like, you're really going to see it being done for nothing because you'll have high crime, high taxes, bad roads, bad schools. So besides those four things, where is my money supposed to be going? You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can claim one thing statistically. It's really just amazing how long Democrats have been able to garnish the Democrat vote. Oh, Lyndon Johnson, I'll have those neat. He said, you know what? Voting Democrat for the next 200 years, he said. See, Democrats love to cite Lyndon Johnson. When you say, just name one good Democrat president. Oh, Lyndon Johnson. You know, like he freed the slaves or something, which was Abraham Lincoln, because he signed the Civil Rights Bill into law. There was actually 5 Civil Rights Bill legislation, right? And the president don't make the bills. The Congress makes those bills. They send it to the president's desk, and he has to sign them into law. Well, it wasn't the Democrats in Congress who made the bills. It was the Republicans who drafted the bills, the 5 civil rights bills. And it was 80% Republicans who signed off to pass it. 72 or 73% of Democrats opposed it. They had just enough Democrats to pass it and send it to his desk. He did not want to sign it. It was political suicide if he did not sign that bill. And before he signed it, he famously said, I'll have those voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And after that, supposedly the party switched because now a Democrat was in favor of helping black folk. The parties never switched. The voters switched because they was duped. And he offered welfare and all this other shit. So the voters switched, but the actual people in power never switched. The Republican Party actually started as like a Negro party for, it was an anti-slavery party. Go back through the whole lineage of the Republican Party. Jim Crow, that was started by Democrats. When you talk about the KKK, that was actually started by Democrats to be a strong arm counter to the Black Panther Party. Yeah, Jim Crow, KKK, all Democrats. Yeah, and in the South was mostly Democrats. I'm telling you, go do your research. So that's it for today. Guys, you got to look within yourself and don't worry about what's on the surface, because when you got love in your heart, you can accomplish anything. Have a good day.